Can you hear me?
What's happening, brother?
Can you hear me, brother?
I can hear you, brother.
All right. We're halfway there.
How you
My hair
feeling?
looks pretty messed up, though.
You
Doing good. I
look
need to
great.
wear more hats. I don't have to worry about my hair if I wear a hat.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. I'm looking forward to this. I did a little research on you, and I like what you're getting into. It looks really exciting.
Oh, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I fully appreciate it. Are you ready to get rolling?
As soon as I wake up, I'm ready to go rolling until I go to sleep.
You know, the Mental Margarita Show is a fabulous platform, and by having this platform, I think the beauty of it is that you get a chance to meet very beautiful people that are not only inspiring, but have the fortitude to continue to make a difference in the world and in their own world, because we have to take care of ourselves individually in order to help others. With that being said, you know,
Good point.
Gary, I tell you this, man. I really got a chance to really track your journey, and man, it's impressive. When did this all start out with you, brother? When does it? I mean, take me to the beginning, brother.
All right. Well, the beginning is coming home from a movie theater at age 4 and playing the theme of the film on the piano at home.
Wow.
And then my parents freaking out saying, "What do we have here?" Because nobody in the immediate family was really, I mean, everybody loved music, and they're music oriented people in the kind of the external, the outside the core family, outside the nuclear family, mostly in music retail. But that was too much. So they started me with piano lessons at age 5.
Wow.
And I didn't like the rigor. I didn't like the rigor, but I learned intervals and chords at an early age. Whereas a lot of people learn classical. The thing that was by the time I was 6, 7 years old, I could listen to a song on the radio and tell you what the chords were. So that way ahead of the game. So that's right before the golden era of the music on the radio was not that great when I was 6 and 7 years old. But then when I was 12, when the Beatles hit, or 11, when Stevie Wonder hit and the Beatles hit and Motown hit, then it was all over. Because then I would go to the piano, put the radio on the piano, learn basically everything I could, play whatever I could. Didn't really work on my voice, but just, I was like, as someone wrote in my high school yearbook, if we could convert an individual into a radio, it would be you.
Oh my God.
So I was able to be like a channel. I have my own channel, and people would walk into a party and like no conversation, just come on, Gary, you're over here, sit down and just play.
We need you, man. We need you, Gary. So right. You became everybody's go-to. That's how in the music you were.
At a very early age, people were gathering around me playing the hits on the piano. So
now let me ask you this, Gary. So now as you're developing this and you're saying to yourself, wow, this is really coming to me. I mean, so organically, and it's definitely something from the universe. As that's happening, now as you're progressing through life, you're saying, okay, I'm going to take this professional. I mean, when did you wake up and say, okay, I'm really going to do this?
It happened automatically, man. My sister, who was a year and a half older than me, was dating guys that were older, and they would come by the house and hear me play. And like one of them was a drummer, said, "Shit, we need a keyboard player. Your brother can play all these tunes, man. He's in the band." So there was not even, I was just automatically in groups as a teenager. So it was just automatic. And then I didn't really start thinking about writing. I mean, I had a couple people come up to me and say, "Man, why don't you start doing your own music?" Because when I was 18, I'd already been playing for 14 years. It's like,
Wow.
so, so
That's
I didn't
great.
really. I think I wrote one tune, but I never thought of music being my career. I mean, my parents were never really on top of me to do anything. They had their
Right.
own crises and their own problems, and I
Sure.
was definitely, I was some sort of a weirdo in the house, man. So, and sports, music, and girls, not necessarily in that order, depending on what day of the week or what was going on in my life. But that was, my life was full. With sports, music, and girls, there was enough going on. And really, I mean, and I was like studying. I mean, I basically would study, but music was by far the most natural thing. And that was I was average height for my age, and then I stopped growing at age 14. So that was God telling me, guess what? You're a musician. You're not gonna play for the Mets or the Yankees or the Knicks. You're playing
Right.
music.
You're gonna play music, man. There you go.
Because this was on Long Island. This is where I grew up. There's all this stuff so far.
Strong Island. Strong Island.
Right on, man. You got to
Come
work
on.
out when you say that. So, so that's it. I played in bands starting from 12 all through high school. I was always in a really good band, and I was piecing things together. I would do medleys that other people weren't thinking of, and always try to do something a little bit different, but also learn the songs like the records. So I had
Right.
all those grooves down. And another thing that God gave me, I could play the funk.
Wow.
The funk was not out of my league. It was very natural for me to
That's
do.
great. A lot of people are not able to pick that up like that.
And and I was playing bass, bass with my left hand in half the groups that I was in.
Wow.
And once again, I never had to think about it. I was able to feel it. You can't teach somebody that, I don't think, anyway.
No, you can't. That's pixie dust sprinkled on you, Gary. That's exactly what happened.
So I knew that I'm still not picking it as a career, though. Still not saying this is my career, no matter what. Wow. Even though I'm already making money, but I didn't think of it as my career. I thought it would be an adjunct. Where was I going to go to college? What was I going to major in? More of a normal track.
Right.
upper middle class, white Jewish track.
Right.
But I was on the basketball team in 9th grade that was half black, half white. Farmingdale was 20% or 15-20% black. I enjoyed black music more than white music growing up. I almost by far. There was more in there for me. It just felt more like home to me.
Wow, that's cool.
So, but
that's really cool, man.
So that's it. Now you got more than information than probably you bargained for, and we're up to about age 18, about age 20 now.
Wow.
But not a career yet. Not the career choice yet.
Well, let me tell you something, Gary. I mean, one thing that I was able to really pull from your work is that it's authentic. It's very genuine. You don't seem like you don't seem like a poser. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
And I love that. I mean, I think that's just a Long Island thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
The posers stand out in the wrong way.
Right, exactly. What are some of the artists that really inspired you? I mean, Stevie Wonder, I would imagine. I mean, what about Billy Joel? I mean, is there anybody in particular?
No, Billy Joel wasn't during my formative years, but
okay.
Felix Cavalieri of the Rascals.
Wow.
I don't know. That's probably even before your time. But
yeah.
When he did, his voice and his Hammond organ and his writing from, Good Lovin' to I Ain't Gonna Eat Up My Heart Anymore to How Can I Be Sure to his keyboards were great. His vocals were amazing. And whenever, when I'm in a cover band situation, which I still am in as a moonlighting kind of guy, when anybody asks for a Rascals song, 1, 2, 3, good luck. I mean, I am there with him. Should be happy that I'm not at a keyboard right now, because I'd be doing that. But
you're doing it right now, baby.
Because that cover band thing still is happening. As when I need cash, I can go out, luckily, and make a few bucks a night on that.
Right, exactly, and that's something that can stay with you for a long time.
But But that has been a real distraction to me since age 25 when I started writing. But you just asked me about influences. Felix, if you go just do a Rascals Greatest Hits just to catch up on that, he was a bad guy, and he played bass with his foot on the keyboard. They didn't even have real bass in the group. So he's singing, Blue Eyed Soul before it was called Blue Eyed Soul.
Right.
And do any of those song titles ring a bell to you as grooving? How can I? Okay.
Absolutely.
And so that his albums, and my band opened for him at a show at my high school when I was 14. I didn't get a chance to meet him, but it was our stage. I think they gave me a Hammond for the night, and there was Felix's stage with his Hammond. So
the stars lined up with the moon on that one.
That's like age 14 and 15, and I'm still waiting to get back in that context with me on the big stage and some other teenage kid on the small stage. Still waiting for that.
You know what? It's coming real soon. And speaking of soon, we got to talk about what's happening recent. You got some new material that you're working on that was really riveting. And I feel like there's certain music that gives me goosebumps.
Right on.
When I got a chance to really listen to some of your new stuff, it's like I got goosebumps. It was amazing. Wow. I'm like, I don't know. I think it's the subject matter, is what you're saying, is your delivery. Everything is just kind of really cohesive. What got you to come up with some of this new stuff? And if you could tell the audience some of the new stuff you're working on.
I will. And yeah, there was a big transition moment after writing for about 10 years. I started writing in the late 70s and did pretty well. First demo tape got picked up by Warner Brothers. I started working with Diane Warren in the studio as her demo producer. I met Alan Thicke as his music director. I started giving Robin piano lessons. And I was playing with Bonnie Raitt and Bruce Hornsby's band, won the grand prize of the American Song Festival. I mean, there were always these things going on. But then the thing that I was missing in my music was the social commentary, because I always paid attention to what was going on. I've always had a heart for the underdog. I've never liked anything about discrimination, anything about prejudice. I smell it a mile away. Right. And it's close to home, man. It's not necessarily in my home, but it's part of nobody feels the way I do in my immediate family about coming from the Jewish culture. There's no proselytizing, but there's a thread about the common humanity in the Old Testament that has never left me. I don't give a shit about the materialism and the holiday. It's the soul that it's all about for me. And I really I've been able to feel the deal for the people that have been elbowed out for ridiculous reasons.
I like how you said ridiculous is the right word to use.
Because I was way more inspired by other people than what I am. Right. My friends were from all across the map. Well, that's the beauty of growing up in the New York metropolitan area. Everything's everything. Everything's going on wherever you go.
Oh, gosh. You got a burning melting pot there.
So
go ahead, Gary.
Okay, 1988 was my first. 87 and 88. I wrote a song in 1987 called "We're Flying on the Same Plane. We're rowing in the same boat." we're walking down the same road, which has been rewritten 20 times. It's now still a strong tune. I don't know if you got to that tune, if you looked at my list, but
Absolutely.
that is, I have a gospel version of that tune. There hasn't been that title used. That I'm ready to do that song with the right band, with the right artist. I don't care if you throw in rap, wherever it has to go. It's just a community tune. So that
Right.
I started that in the mid 80s. I wrote a song called Just Like Mozambique about the people starving in Mozambique. Are we too hungry for love that we can't give it away? Is
Wow.
kind of, so I started.
Hold on, that's powerful right there, man.
I'm just saying, it's all there, man. No one knows my shit, really. It's a very small circle, and like it's like building some sort of a thing that's ready to explode, and I keep on building it and building it and building it, because no matter what's happened in my life, whether I'm broke, whether it's a few $1,000, I am still writing, I am still producing, and I'm not being stopped. That's basically it. So,
well, you know, I what I really love about you is that, you know, you just said that you're not going to be stopped. I think the audience needs to know this. You know, anything that you guys are reaching out for and you're trying to achieve, you have to have the same mentality that Gary has. And I think one thing that I really appreciate about you, Gary, is that you're transparent. You're willing to express yourself and say, hey, this is what I stand for. And that's important. I mean, do you think the music is kind of lacking that now, or is it out there?
Well, you know, it's a great question. We also, anybody has to know that they're going to be prejudiced to their own sound when they're teenagers. That's the sound that they grew up with. That's the sound that stays with them. And so everybody thinks, when I do my piano gigs, I say, where are my 60s people, 70s people, 80s people? I want to say, and it's almost always age related. It doesn't, very few people go outside of their chronology for their taste in music.
That's true.
But not for me, because great music comes anywhere, anytime, by anybody. And
that's right.
I think that there was a concentration of diversity in music of the late 60s that has not been duplicated since then. But I was lucky enough to be living during that period to see what was happening. You know, to go from The Singing Nun to Gil Scott-Heron on the radio.
Right.
Come on, man. And to have those residual 50s doo-wop shit going on, and then bringing in the rap thing and all. So going back to as a kid, the fact that I'm able to simulate whatever's going on through me, and now as an older person, I have things to say. I have a lot of shit to say, and I have new words to say, and I have new pieces of the puzzle to fit in, because I'm actually angry now.
Right. You got a little chip on your shoulder, huh?
I got it. True. I also got, I need a bicep tenodesis in my right shoulder too. So,
boy.
But the fear is just a focus on an undesired result. That's all fear is. And if people can take that to heart.
That's deep. Let's rewind that back. Fear is what? What did you say, Gary?
Fear is just a focus on an undesired result.
Wow.
And
that's something to stick to the fridge. I like that.
I'll give you another one too. Risk is its own reward.
Wow, that's right. That's deep.
And so, but you know what? I want to share this shit in the context of a hit song, in the context of a Grammy, in the context of a band that's making it, in the context of people gathering to kind of build the momentum.
That's what it takes. The momentum is right.
And so right up to the moment, literally, I want to start a thing called the momentous sphere, which is like I don't know exactly what it's going to do, but I have a visual genius guy who's putting together what this thing is. Because I had this idea to put together a room which just sounded amazing, and to tour in place, not have to go down dancing and dotting around the world, but have this place that sounds incredible, that has incredible music coming out of it, and it takes and pulls different people up onto the stage to join in.
Wow.
So the Momentisphere is what I want to be doing. I've already come up with the idea 6 months ago. I don't want to drop that. And so that's kind of what I want to do. Whether it's in Vegas, you want to get a space and just throw this thing down, I'm cool. I'm cool with that.
Hey, look, we're going to have to sit there and talk about it, man. I mean, this is a good start by getting your face out there to the public in Vegas. And I definitely think that there's going to be a lot more to come.
Well, the thing is also, I already visualized this all happening. I'm just sort of reverse engineering what I see happening. And I've just been waiting for the right people to show up at the right time. And thanks to Brother Sterling.
Sterling in the building.
Shout out to Sterling. I'm ready to do it, man. There's no more. I won't tell you how old I am because it's a stupid number.
Right. Who cares? No one cares. I mean, come on. You got to be ignorant to even care about something like that.
Thank you. Yeah, because I'm just ready to rock, man. I'm ready to do my set. I'm ready to get some people to partner up. They just have to be. They got to be solid, and they got to have a gift of whatever they got. Just got to be one thing. They got to be good at one thing, whatever it is.
Well, you definitely met up with me, and I think that's a good start. I also want to say this to you. You know, I think that I saw your video, and we're gonna let the audience be able to check that video out. And I mean, you're a lyricist too.
Right on.
And as long as you have something to say, I mean, there is no expiration date.
Well, that's one of my friends who's a lyricist used to say back in the pre-computer days, you only need three things. You need a pencil, a pad, and something to say if you're going to be a songwriter.
That's right. That's the.
And as more things happen, there's more to say. And I don't want to be a news reporter. I don't want to be a politician. I don't want to be a teacher. I'm a freaking songwriter, musician. Music is the thing. It's taken me a long time to just say that I could do this other shit. That's not me, really. It's part of me, but the music is where it all comes together. So,
that's right.
And I want people to walk away from a song like the song that I did. The thing that was done at the border, now that we're talking about that, I don't know how much time. Are we cutting off at a half hour, or can we keep going?
Yes.
Are we cutting off at the bottom of the hour, or can we go a little bit over?
I want you to go. Come on. Okay. This is the Margarita Show. Go.
You just keep the salt around the glass and keep drinking.
Right.
So anyway, the policy, the Trump policy, I hate to even mention his name, but that policy, the border thing, the zero tolerance, was one of the most corrupt, evil, and all these idiot, sure, they may be illegal aliens as far as coming into the country because they're not invited here, but that's not the way the country was founded. The whole point of the United States is to be an asylum, not as in a nut house way, but as a nut house seeking asylum from whatever they're coming from and from the shit that they've had to go through.
Exactly.
And that's the way I look at the Momentisphere and what I'm doing as another example of it. But let's stay with So Far for a second, that song. To see the kids separated from their parents at the last minute.
Oh, gosh.
And there's an article, by the way, in September in the Atlantic magazine by Caitlin Dickerson about the American catastrophe, where she goes into it. She shows the wiring behind the wall and how it all happened. It's definitely worth a read.
Oh, man.
I just had the gut reaction. I didn't need to know that much about it to just see the kids pulled away from their parents because On my first day of day camp, when I was 7.5 years old, I cried all day because my mother wasn't there.
I know. I had my moments too. Yes.
What up with like separating? You just walked across the freaking desert for like 8 days or whatever, and you finally get to the promised land, and they pull you away from your parents. That's a trauma that is not going away.
No.
Ever.
It's not. I mean, how insensitive can you be?
And I did study psychology. And one of the things about not knowing that I was going to be a music person, it got me into psychology and conflict resolution, and met some very interesting people that have mentored me in different non-musical ways, but about the world, in the world. And some of my best friends came out of those camps, so to speak. But when I saw this thing happening, I said, what year is it? What country am I in?
I know. It was like, wow, I can't even believe that I'm actually witnessing this.
And the way that immigrants were portrayed in the run-up to that.
My goodness, man.
And the way any minority group has been portrayed by what actually is a world minority. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
These people that think that everybody else is the minority.
Exactly.
Well, that's not true.
Yeah.
Get the hell, and I have another thing. You're right. The famous expression when you go into an airport, if you see something, say something.
Right.
I twist that around. If you're going to say something, see something. Go out there in the world and see what's going on before you start talking about any of this shit.
Right.
Before you start voting on abortion and you don't know exactly what that is all about, and you just, you're like holding on to that Old Testament for that one thing or whatever you're doing. Right. It's not reality. So if you're going to say something, see something. So somebody wants to rap that tune, go ahead. Just rap that tune for me, all right?
Hey, I got something for it. I got something for that, Gary. I got something for that. And you know what you said is so true, man. It's a lot of people are saying a lot of things that they don't really know anything about. And I'm glad that you are bringing that forward in your music. And just to let the audience know, where do they find you? Then where do they come, figure out how to see what you got going on next?
Right now, I just have a little portfolio site called Gary Pickus Music that just has my top songs, my top instrumentals, because I've been trying to get some sync agent to try to get some of the stuff in TV and film. But really, the thing is the Momentasphere, which is more of a forum for my work and the other people that are part of my family, my musical family, to be. Or they've been part of my musical family, but they've drifted or they're doing other things. But we're starting this thing. I don't have any really final destination that I could tell, come here and do this. You can go to listen to my music at GaryPickusMusic.com or GPick or GRPick.com, which was my last website, which was based on the Australian Aborigine things that are being songlines all over the world that we're just following. I also am very big into animal rights because there's this whole thing of, what a sentient being is, something that feels. And it's like people are acting like they have a sentient removal kit at some point in their life when it comes to something that's not them. So it's like speciesism. I have a handful of tunes that are animal rights tunes also, as well as human rights tunes, because children and the defenseless, animals are really basically defenseless. Children are basically defenseless. They get more heart from me because they can't fight back.
They can't fight back, yeah.
So,
well, I tell you one thing. I know one person that has fought back, and that's you, and you have maintained your relevancy. And you have been absolutely dynamic And let me tell you something, man. It's an absolute pleasure and honor to be sitting here with you. And I don't cut you short, but I do want to know. I think there was a little birdie. A little birdie flew on my ear and told me that there's a possible change. There's a possible name change or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that happened recently because I was turned on to this movie called The Wisdom of Trauma,
Okay.
about the life of Dr. Gabor Pate is his last name? Mate. M-A-M-A. I think it's good. Gabor Mate. I mean, if I screw up his name, that's really bad. I think it's Gabor Mate. M-A-T-E
Okay.
with an accent. The guy is a genius when it comes to connecting the dots of individual trauma. And I watched this thing and it was just line after line and paragraph after paragraph of just things like you want to take notes because the guy he's been through the shit.
Wow.
He's been through the shit and now he's helping everybody else. And one of the things that he said was, see the human, not the problem.
Yes.
And what I took from that is see the human, not necessarily for my artist name. I've given it a little bit more thought, but for the band name,
Yeah.
for the group name. I could still be me. Giro Pick, G Pick, Gary Pickus, take your choice.
G Pick in the house, baby.
That's right. That's what one of my best friends from the dueling piano days. I didn't tell him to call me G Pick. He just did. So, but that's it. See the human is really kind of the presentation. Like the artist name for So Far would be See the Human, because the social justice songs will be under that name.
Wow, that's cool. That's cool.
So that's, and I still haven't mentioned the one word. There's one word that I made up because I wrote a book called Instant Therapy that I haven't put out yet, where I invented 20 terms to help us with our social interactions. And one of them one of them's got the black-white thing built into the name. And I think I'm going to wait on that one, unless you just want me to tell you. Do we need to tell the world?
Excited over here.
Do I need to let it out?
I think you should let it out.
The word is white-solated.
Oh, that's tight. Wow.
And there's a lot to it. And it should be a bestseller from somebody that spent their life studying race relations.
Wow.
Because I have a song about my experience.
Hold on. That's the world premiere right there.
If you want to set up the world premiere, let me send you the tune and you tell me what you think about it, because it actually says a lot it basically summarizes what I was saying before about.
That is tough, man. Wow. I like that.
So
wow.
It's in the book, which means it's out there. But the song needs more people on it than me to make it really work.
Okay. Well, we're definitely going to talk behind the scenes. And G-Pig, I just want to let you know that I love you, brother. And it's been so fantastic to sit here and talk to you and get a chance to pick, no pun intended, your brain.
Right on.
And it's just fantastic, man. I really appreciate you.
And thank you for taking that great listener position with great questions, because I know from what I saw on you got a lot to say yourself. And if this was if we were on a train, bus, plane, whatever, you would get your time too, because it's the only reason why I am who I am is from listening to other people and reading other people. And because I'm very curious about your thing and how that could be woven into my thing, so we can get that thing together.
That's what this is all about. G-Pig, I love you once again, man. And
love you, brother.
You enjoy. Where are you at right now? You're on the West Coast?
I'm West Coast now. I'm LA adjacent. Okay. But I'm either near New York or LA. At any given moment, I'm near one of those two places, generally speaking. Vegas is fine too, if that's where I got to go. I don't care, man, if we have to build this thing in Greenland. The Momentosphere has got to be the spot.
It's got to be, and I really like that. So I got some ideas, and we'll definitely talk about it.
All right, man.
Enjoy your day, my brother.
Hopefully you got at least 21 good minutes here, man. I don't know. But
love you,
anyway,
brother.
Great opportunity. Have a great rest of the day, brother. Take care.
All right, good man.
Bye-bye. See you.
We can see the drama, but from your mama in dawn's early light. Sophia, wrapped in a foil blanket, while your uncle cries frantic, in jail all night. We're so overdue to stop this madness since it started raining sadness down the cheeks of the first little frightened face. Now we've got to keep our beacons burning, lead the way till they're all returning back to loving arms where they feel safe. Dear little ones in ICE rooms, we share your scars. We failed you so far, so far, so far, so far. We're daughters and sons, seekers like you, blessed to lift up the banner of spangled stars. It stretches so far, so far, so far, so far. Mahatma, Malcolm and Nelson lived out the lesson we've been slow to understand. I can hear the shadows talking, saying we're not walking in a promised land. Tell me, how can a human not be outraged about these children in a steel cage without a loved one there to hear their call? This goes far beyond religion, creed, color, and nationality. It's a curse against humanity, that's all. Dear little ones in ICE rooms, we share your scars. We failed you so far, so far, so far, so far. We're daughters and sons, we're seekers like you, blessed to lift up the banner of spangled stars and stretch it so far, so far, so far, so far. I got a migrant headache, they gotta sleep on no bedache in a cesspool of grotesquerie, festering of young destiny. No cameras allowed to the shrouded crowd behind a coward cloud of walking streaks of cruelty who think they have immunity, while shrieks of abused youth pierce their shit stormtrooper community. 24/7 detention lamps like a prison camp, run by a moronic bubonic plague of soul cramps, even worse than the sickness they witness. No pediatricians, just truth incision by medieval depravement. So we gotta pound the pavement, swooping like the raven, show up at the door and say nevermore. We're on our way to set you free. You're in the land of liberty. We're on our way to set you free. You're in the land of liberty. We're on our way to set you free. You're in the land of liberty. Dear little ones in ICE rooms, we share your scars. We failed you so far, so far.
What's happening?
How you doing? How you doing, Sly?
How you feeling, my brother?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain, man.
We can't complain, man. We can't complain. Welcome
No.
to the Mr. Margarita show, man.
All right, I appreciate that. Thank you, man.
It feels good to finally have you on board, man. And we've been playing phone tag. We both extremely busy. I'm out here right now, currently on the East Coast and handling some things. And, you know, it feels really good to finally connect with you, my brother.
Man, feel the same feelings over here, man. I really appreciate the opportunity to be there too, man. Like I know we're gonna do something.
So let's start with you now. So tell me where you're based at, your childhood. How was it like growing up? You know, and just as a young Miami State Jit, as a young Jit coming up, how was it like?
Yeah, it was pretty cool to be honest. Like I didn't have a dad around, but when he came in my life, he was at the right time to be honest. And like since I was little, I always liked music and stuff. No, really like I'm from Haiti actually. I'm part Jamaican Haitian. Like I was raised with my mom. Like my mom raised me actually, and it was pretty cool, but not that cool, you know, because my mom was my dad. Like you know, she had like to do everything. And then it was a little bit tough for me, like you know where we came from. To be honest, like and financially it was all right. It wasn't that all that, you know, till I moved in here. So I moved here like it was like when I was 19. So everything was pretty cool when I moved here. Like, you know, I started going to school, go to college and stuff. And, you know, I had to start working kind of early, you know, trying to make it.
I don't mean to cut you up, but what school you went to?
In here, like when I came in here, I went straight to college. I went to Broward College. It's like that's not campus.
Okay, BCC. Okay.
Yeah, BCC. Yeah.
Yeah. I went there for a little bit.
But that's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah. So that's cool, man. What really got you into music? Like, what was the thing for you to say, hey, this is something that I really want to do?
Like since I was like little, actually, I remember when I used to go to school, one of my teacher was a rapper. And then like sometimes like when I listen to his music, it was pretty cool. And then when I when I see him, I always want to do something for him. He'd be like, damn, you got a little talent inside of you. I'd be like, you think so? He'd be like, yeah, you got it. You know, you got the rhythm, you got like the flow and stuff like that. If I was you, I would have tried it. And since then, like when he said that, it's just like, you take one person to spark something inside of you. And then once he mentioned that, I was like, man, I think so too. It's like I always feel like I got it, but I never tried it, And then like since then I started going at it, me and my friends who was getting the beat on the on the bench, going like boom, boom, bop. And then spitting somewhere, I got everybody attention. They was like, yo, that's good. That's good. I feel like, okay, man, if everybody like it, man, I'm going to just go for it, It was pretty cool to please, to put a smile on everybody's face. To be like, damn, this nigga good, man. Yeah.
That's cool, man. So it's almost like you kind of stumbled across it and then find out that this is my calling. So what are you working on right now? I mean, what's your situation? Are you working on an album? Are you got a single that you're really pushing it hard?
I got a single I'm really pushing it on. Like I had a couple works with me and my with the guy that make beats for me, which is my producer. Like it's something kind of personal, we got a little studio at the house. Like it's kind of like something for us within in the bedroom, It's pretty cool.
Listen, I started out with Cool and Dre, and we were in a little room called the record room. And that's how it all started. So that's always the best fit to me.
Yeah. So I started working with him. We got I got a single I'm working on. It's basically something about, they call It's Time. It's pretty cool. It's a music about those type of stuff we live in every day, going to the club, having fun, where you from, how you live your life type thing, It's just something like that. And so far, Yeah, I'm going at it so far. Like it's almost done. All I got to do is just masterize, finish everything. Like do the the final touch actually. But man, I think I got I got a radio version of that music actually. I supposed to be because there's a lot of kind of be like the words.
I think you gotta kind of hide for radio and television because
Definitely.
you're actually going to be featuring something of yours, and I'm excited. The audience here in Las Vegas, man, they need that Caribbean flavor. They need to know what's going on across the country, and there's a lot of people from Miami and stuff like that, all over the East Coast that comes to Vegas. So, the importance of this show is to create a platform. And you never know who's going to be watching, so I'm excited. Are you got a video in mind for your song? How's that working out?
Definitely, I got a video. I'm working with some guys they kind of they make videos and they're pretty good at it. They say as soon as the music done, just holler at them, and then basically they are friends from school that we know, they're willing to work with us. Since they start hearing the music, they be like, this music need a video. But when you're ready, guys, just let me know. So basically, it's about the schedules. We still got a family to take care of. We still got a job to go to. That's why, when we got time, we got little times. It's basically at night time. And sometimes, my producer is kind of tired because we got he had a long day. Same for me. So we just we kind of go slow right now, but we know we're gonna make it surely.
But you know what? Well, let me tell you something. I love your confidence.
Thank you.
It's coming through, man. You seem like you got a clear mind and you know what you want to do. You definitely got charisma, man. So I think that now is the time. Now, are you doing this independent? Are you looking for a deal situation from a business standpoint? What are you clearly looking for?
Basically, a deal situation would have helped because sometimes, by yourself, you might be strong, but together we're stronger. If you kind of get some type of help, people that knows the deal, people that knows the business and that trying to help you get into it, that would be good. That would be good. But for now, I'm by myself, to be honest. I'm trying to make everything happen by myself. But a little help would be appreciated.
Absolutely, absolutely, my brother. That sounds good, man. Now, look, what would you say your style is? I mean, how would you describe your music? How are you coming? What is your approach to it?
Okay, so my approach to music is just for the beginning, I'm trying to let people know, where we came from, what am I, what I got in my mind. I'm not too different from the other ones. We still we're still the same, but a little bit more. I got a little bit of more flavor in me because when I be singing, it's just you can hear the accent. I don't know. I didn't know what's an accent when people keep putting it out. They be like, you got an accent, you got an accent. When I be like, what is an accent? They be we like that little spice that you got, that can tell you're not from here. I be like, is that it? They be like, no, actually that shit look good.
It's good, right? And you got a deep voice, man. So I'm sure on the right track, it'll compliment well.
I appreciate that.
Now, final thing. Where can the people reach, follow you? How can they get in contact with you? Once they see this, I'm sure that you're going to develop some fans. So where can they find you at?
I got my Instagram. They can follow me on my Instagram, which is Santanslan. It's SANTANSLAN. They can follow me over there. I got Facebook also. It's James Lee J Zo on Facebook. It's James Lee JAMESLEY. J-Zo is the G and ZOE. Yeah, definitely. I would appreciate it.
Zo, baby. Come on now. Hey, look, Sapase, baby.
Nabule. Yeah.
James Lee, man, much love to you, man. We definitely got to connect too. Off the record, got to connect, my brother.
Of course, man.
I love your energy. I love your spirit, man. And let's shake the world together, my brother.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you, man, for welcome. Thank you for having me with you. Thank you for the opportunity. I really appreciate that. I think it's the beginning and big things gonna come. Big things have to come. Yeah.
know what? You got that right. You got that right. All right, take care, my brother.
All right, you have a wonderful day, man. Thank you so much, man.
Much love.
All right.
Hi, thank you for tuning in to Mental Margarita. I am the Rebel, and this is my rant. So, let's talk about movies. See, we already know that Hollywood lacks a serious diversity on and off the camera. But whenever they do make these films, they create this nasty little habit of giving those diverse films or roles to white actors. We're talking about 75% of speaking roles are given to white actors and actresses. And that's perfectly fine. But some of those parts are actually characters of color. So let's go down my list. Angelina Jolie plays Marianne Pearl in the film A Mighty Heart. Ben Affleck is Antonio J. Mendez in Argo. Johnny Depp plays Tonto, and Elizabeth Taylor is Cleopatra. Christian Bale plays Moses. And what about Russell Crowe in Noah? I mean, we don't even want to talk about Passion of Christ, right? In the black and white films, as a matter of fact, John Wayne played Genghis Khan. Now, if you ask me, that's a comedy. In 2016, Michael Jackson was played by a British actor. But you know what? That one's all right because he was already white by then. The list goes on. But you know what people are mad about now? They're mad about Little Mermaid being black. But you know what? I got a problem with that too. Because that's like making Batman Mexican or Superman gay. They're fictitious characters. They're not even real. I mean, Hollywood, at least let us represent our people. But, hey, I'm not a movie critic. I'm just a rebel trying to rant. So, be careful what you watch. At the end of the day, they're all just movies. Be aware of self, be aware of mind, and beware of others. Thank you, and carpe diem.
Yeah. So reggae is in our music is entwined with country. So
Hold
it is
on.
another thing.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's really something else because I mean, it's just like hip hop. You know, we sampled a lot of break beats and different things to create the genre of music. I mean, we took from everything that you can possibly take from to create something magical and something new. And it seems like people are doing that with reggae. It's unbelievable.
Africa now is taking reggae and have it in their own style.
Yeah, that's so true.
Afrobeat, the Spanish.
Afrobeats. Afrobeats is
Yes,
big. Drake just dropped an album with all these Afro beats.
they're hot, but it comes from reggae.
That's where it all starts. Now
Yes.
let me ask you this question now. I know we're talking about the documentary and everything like that, but give me a little background information on you. Like you started out, you know, how do things go for you and
Well,
your journey?
I was in England and then I came here and I used the music from a child. In England, we used to have those 4 stages houses, 4 floors. And my
Right.
uncle would move out everything and play and have house parties in the 60s and 70s. So I'm born in the music and the partying. I'm telling you. That's why I know all these artists and most of the songs them as a child because they're there. They used to have the sound system in the 60s to have house party and they used to sell liquor and everything. As a child. Then I came to U.S., went to school, but I did modeling. I love modeling. And then I started creating my own pageant, beauty pageant, Miss Tropical Paradise. You can Google me. I'm all over there. Miss Tropical Paradise beauty pageant, where dreams are made of. So I'm always helping the younger women to go back to Jamaica, enjoy Jamaica. It's a beautiful country, so don't be negative of Jamaica. So since I'm born in Jamaica, I go back for 16 years. I've been doing pageantry.
Wow.
So I've been doing this business for years, but that was beauty pageant. So those girls are right. Enough of these girls. One day I have the vision with the hip hop and reggae, and I said reggae should do better. Why are we not doing better?
Right.
And that's all. It came from here, not from no one. It came from me. And I called my daughter about the idea, and that's how it evolved. So I've been doing production from 1978,
Wow.
79. So I'm in this business a long time
Yeah.
on the beauty on the beauty. But I used to do production and live shows with artists with my beauty pageant. So I get to know a lot of people. So that's me
Wow.
as a child loving the music, evolve, travel a lot, go to all the reggae concerts, get lucky to know all these famous legends and regular and the upcoming artists as well. So when I came up with the idea, I had most of them in my phone, so it was easy.
I know we were talking about that, and I'm really excited about some potential, things that we have cooking. Let's get reggae. Let's bring the awareness to especially Las Vegas, because I think that there is a reggae scene. They have a festival that comes out here and it's very well received. But I still think that there's so much more that we can do, by bringing it here in Vegas. And there's so many people that would truly enjoy it. Now,
yes,
I know
the
that
music. Yes, definitely.
and you were mentioning something to me about, like, you're doing your parties now, you got events going on. What are some of the things that you got going on to really increase the awareness?
But right now, we're doing a 3-day celebrity mansion getaway in Montego Bay. So fly down. And guess who's the headliner? Junior Reid.
Junior Reid.
One Blood.
That's a legend right there.
And Marcia Akins, I'm Still in Love with You, Boy. Sean Paul did it over.
Oh, man, I love that song.
Yes, so and that we have in 3 days of just nothing but music. And we're doing an all-white beach party at Tropical Bliss in Montego Bay on October 29th.
October 29th. So anybody that's interested in going to Montego Bay, they can just reach you. Call
me.
That's all you gotta do.
Because I have a travel agency is doing the packaging and everything. And I'm selling the 3-day package, VIP package. So you just buy your package and just go to all 3-day event, because the event gonna be amazing. We got a mansion up in the hills. I mean, this huge 7-bedroom mansion with pool, and we're gonna have meet and greet up in the hills. Like, this is $1 million, couple of $1 million house there, and we're gonna throw a party there.
Hey, look, I'm gonna find my way there, man.
You need to come down.
I gotta bring
my friend Karen is coming.
Oh, okay. So it's gonna be something special. Wow.
And Mr. Greenwood is coming. Marlon Greenwood is coming down. He's
Marlon
performing.
Greenwood.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm gonna actually have Marlon Greenwood on this show, and he's gonna be, letting us hear some of his new music. I mean, just an amazing man.
Yes, and he's performing too.
Oh, so he's definitely gonna be performing.
His ticket is paid for and booked.
Oh, that's awesome.
I did the ticket, so I know he's coming.
That's what's
he's a
up.
busy man, so I just give me information, boom, boom, boom. Saturday even can you come down? We did that already.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
They call him the Ultimate.
Oh yeah, I know.
That's his stage name.
I saw his tagline. Well, that's great. And going back to the documentary, because I think that's the most important thing. Anyone that's interested, or if someone wants to be a part of it in some way as you're building this thing up, because I know that you have big plans, how do they get in contact with you? Again, I want to make sure the audience is able to get in contact with you.
They can call me, and I have my email, same as the movie. My phone number is 347-633-0938. And my email address is ftlor2019@gmail. And
Okay.
I'm being very serious, like, I need investors.
Okay.
I'm not going to be beating around the bush because I got this. Nobody got to do a movie. I'm doing series of movies, 60s. I'm doing 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and on and on. So look at your investment. I have a huge production company in Jamaica that's did the shoot. I did my first shoot already. I'm just trying to finish up the next one in November.
That's
in
it.
Jamaica, yes.
We definitely gotta make that happen. So anyone that's tuning in, if you're an investor that that's serious about really getting behind something really cool, make sure you get in contact with her. And I'm just so excited about the whole thing. I mean, you told me about it a few days ago, and I was like, I can't wait to interview.
Yeah, I know. You got really excited. I said, listen, I want an interview. I asked you for an interview. I need to tell my story. And the point is, with this movie, it's a documentary. And when I talk to, not even to say anything, because I'm confident with it. When I talk to Netflix, they love it. Suppose Netflix have a good chance Netflix might pick it up. So your investment is solid. And I have a distribution company too. They distribute documentary.
Wow, that's cool. That's cool.
And he said, if you do this movie right, Marcia, you could get an Oscar.
Yeah.
It's an Oscar-worthy idea. So do it right.
That's it. We got all the pieces together properly.
Yes.
Well, you got my support 100%.
Yes, and I'm coming to Las Vegas too.
Coming to Las Vegas because we got some ideas and things that we're going to speak into existence.
Yes.
And I'm really excited about that. And I want to thank you, Marcia, so much for being on the Mental Margarita Show. You mean so much to us. And just to see a positive Black woman that's empowered with so much spirit and tenacity and knowledge, and you wanting to aware, other young women that are following your footsteps, and not only just women, but men too as well.
Yes.
And really preserving a culture that's so rich in history, and taking that culture and making sure that it stays relevant. So I really appreciate that 100%.
Yeah, we want